Hey guys, Jared here. You can probably hear in the background the PlayStation dashboard music just playing because I've got something downloading right now. But I wanted to talk a little bit about No Man's Sky. These are my first impressions of the game, and this is probably going to be a controversial video because I'm going to be really honest. I'm not into this. This really hasn't grabbed me as of yet. I played around 2 hours or so, and I'm the type of guy that I like when I play a game that, even if it starts off a little bit slow, that it builds up over time. And I think for No Man's Sky that I pretty much have seen what this game has to offer, at least conceptually, by the first 2 hours or so. And yeah, I don't think this is for me. Now, that's not to say this is a garbage game or anything like that. And I gotta admit, I was not one of these that saw the trailers and were like, wow, greatest game ever! I saw it, and there was one question that just kept going through my head over and over and over again. That was, what exactly is this game about? Because, you know, you were on a planet and you could, like, name things and whatever, and then you left the atmosphere and you went to another planet, and, you know, like, things like that. And I was just like, okay, cool, but, like, what's the point? Like, what are you actually trying to do? And, well, I haven't really watched much videos. Sony sent me a code, and I am very thankful. Thank you for that. And the reason I'm thankful is because I think I would have actually been really annoyed had I actually gone out and purchased this. So let's back up and explain how this works and why I feel the way I feel. So the game starts off with you essentially on a planet. You will have discovered this planet yourself. I named my solar system, I named the star system that I first appeared on, Glorious Alpha. It's the Glorious Alpha system, and the planet was Glorious Alpha 1. Very original, I know. So that was kind of cool, whatever. But then right away you see how the game works, because your ship, it's like the thrusters or boosters or whatever aren't working, and the shields aren't working, and for your suit there's like a scanning ability, and that's not working. And so how do you go ahead and fix these things? Well, in order to fix them, you have to go and get resources. Now, resources, it's basically harvesting resources from a wide variety of things. It could be some of the creatures you see, it could be plant life, it could be structures that are around, things like that. So, okay, I go out there and you have like a gun that's almost like a laser. You press the triangle button and you can, I played on the PlayStation 4, I didn't play the PC one, but I mean it's the same thing. Anyways, you press the triangle button and you can switch from like a weapon where it shoots projectiles out to back to where it's like this mining tool. And as you're doing that, there's little orb things that fly around. Sort of looks like, oh goodness, I can't even think of what it was called in Halo. Oh wow, just had a total meltdown. It's like the ghosts from Destiny, you know, where the little guys flying around. Well, these things are called Sentinels, and they're flying around all over the place, and they're essentially like space cops, and they want to make sure that you don't do anything on these planets. So if you harvest too much, when one of these guys is around, they'll actually attack you. And then you have to run away and hide, and if they don't see you, well, then they'll just go about their merry own business. But if you attack them, then more reinforcements come in, and again, it gets harder and harder for you to escape. So I'm like, okay, well, whatever. So I'm harvesting away, and there's a wide variety of things you can harvest. So I first fix up my suit, and so I get like the scanning ability. Now there's two different types of scanning abilities. One where you click in the left analog stick and it sends this like wave out, which helps pinpoint where certain resources are. And then the other one is where you actually press and hold the left trigger, and that, or L2, and that'll actually, like if you're looking at a structure, it'll actually tell you, beep, 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 it scans it and tells you like what it is. So okay, cool. And then as I'm going around, I'm noticing that there's actually two elements of my suit that are constantly depleting. It's sort of like an environmental protection type thing, and I can't remember, I think it was life support or something like that was the other one. And these are constantly depleting. So guess what you have to do in order to replenish those? That's right, you have to harvest resources. So you're harvesting resources to keep those two elements going, but also you can add on to your suit, to your gun, and to your ship all kinds of additional abilities and parts, which of course require more and more materials or resources. Your gun, even as you're doing your mining, it has a charge, and once that charge is depleted or you run out of bullets for its secondary feature where you pow, you have to go again and again and again and mine and mine and mine and mine and mine and mine and mine. And anyway, so in around 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half, something like that, or maybe not even, maybe like an hour and 15 minutes, I had basically upgraded my suit, my gun, and my ship. And by upgrade, I mean I simply did everything that I needed to do that the game told me. There's like on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, there's a little bit of instructions telling you, trying to help you out of like what you should be doing. So okay, cool. So now I blast off into space. I'm like, oh, this is kind of neat. There's this incoming signal type of thing, so I point my cursor, fly down to that planet, and it basically says, oh, you should go to the space station so you could like get, I think it was like warp speed or I don't know, something like that. So I go to the space station, and there I see some aliens, and they're charging a ridiculous amount of money in order for any upgrades. So, of course, how do you get money? Well, you can sell the resources that you get for a bunch of money, and the rarer the resources, obviously the more money you get, and so on and so forth, and that's the way it goes. Now, I know there's going to be additional elements to this, that's to be sure. I know that you can upgrade your ship as it's flying through, in space with weapons and all stuff like that, but the way the game works, the core fundamentals of the game, are all about resource gathering. That's what the whole game is about. Landing on different planets, scanning, identifying different creatures, naming them, things like that. And then, of course, mining these particular resources over and over and over and over and over again in order to either sell or to put these resources into your ship, your exoskeleton or suit or whatever, and your mining tool or gun. And there you go. That's the game, in essence. Your overall objective is to make it to like the center of the universe, and that's all she wrote. It's just, here's the thing for me, and that's why I say this is controversial. I don't think this is a bad game, I don't think this is horrible or anything like that. If you were like me and you went in with no expectations, I wasn't expecting this to be the greatest video game ever made, but I also wasn't expecting it to be what it turned out to be. Now, of course, I could blame myself saying, well, I wasn't really following the game, right? I wasn't following any news or anything like that on it, but this really wasn't at all what I thought this was going to turn into. I had no idea that essentially it's an exploration and resource gathering game. That's it. That's what it is in a nutshell. And I've been really surprised at a lot of the comments I've seen on Twitter, in particular, of people just absolutely loving the game and just going crazy for it. So I thought I would do this video just to offer a little bit of a counterpoint. I really had no idea that this is what this was going to be like. And I'm not sure about how much more I'm going to actually be able to play this, because for lack of a better term, I find it incredibly boring. I'm just not that type of person, you know, that I like the exploration elements, sure, but the constantly having to gather resources, that I'm not really into. It doesn't really interest me much. So I'm going to be playing for a little bit more. I mean, I want to do a review, and I want to do a proper review, right? I don't want to just, you know, oh yeah, this sucks sort of thing. It doesn't suck, not by any stretch of the imagination. This is a quality game, but I don't think this is going to be for me. So those are my initial impressions. It's an interesting concept, but I'm really curious to hear what a lot of you guys think. And like I say, I mean, it's controversial. This is just my opinion so far. But I really like to hear what you have to say about No Man's Sky. So if you've played it on PC or on the PlayStation 4, go ahead and chime in and leave me a comment and tell me what you think of No Man's Sky up to this point. Because I'd be really curious to hear what your thoughts are. And yeah, I guess that's it. So I might do either another like further impressions video if things change. I'm gonna try and put in maybe like 5 hours or so, but we'll see. We'll really see, because if it's the type of game where honestly, like after say another 2 hours that I'm just like, okay, wow, this is the same thing over and over and over and over again, then I'm probably going to be done, and I'll put that in the disclaimer of the review, saying that I just wasn't able to finish this. It wasn't my type of game. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching, appreciate it, and like I said, please leave a comment. I'd really like to hear what your initial thoughts are of No Man's Sky. Does this game just suddenly change dramatically, or does this continue on for the foreseeable future, or for the duration of the entire game? Thanks a lot guys, I'll catch you in the next video.